Amazon FBA is a way for you to make money on Amazon because they do all of the work for you. So it creates a very passive lifestyle once you've got your product set up on the Amazon website. When I first started out with Amazon FBA, I was really confused with how this actually works, how to find a product to sell on Amazon, and how to set up an account to get customers to come to your actual listing. So in this video, we're going to go over all of that so you feel comfortable with finding a product and launching it with Amazon. You've probably seen at this point a lot of people making a lot of money with Amazon FBA, and you've probably seen a lot of YouTubers talk about this. But with that being said, I want to make sure that you know that this isn't a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a way for you to make a business grow and have a long-term strategy for having your product be sold on a website. This is an opportunity for you to create something that you're passionate about and to sell it online so that you can have some consistency and growth with your business. And again, I know that this can be very overwhelming if you're just starting out with Amazon, but I just want to make sure that you know that I felt the same way, and I felt like my head was going to explode with so much information that I needed to learn. But I'm going to break down this process for you, make it really easy so that you have a step-by-step guide on how to launch your business. The first thing to know is that there are 4 business models for selling on Amazon FBA. There's one main one that I recommend out of these 4, but let me break down what these 4 are. The 4 models are retail arbitrage, wholesale, private label, and to create your own product. Creating your own product is what I highly recommend doing, and that's what I did with my business Vino cards. I created it from the start. It was a product that did not yet exist, and I wanted to make it unique and fun for people interested in wine tasting. The way people used to sell on Amazon that worked really well was private label. This is where you have your own label on an already existing product. But in recent years, this model of selling on Amazon is not working so well anymore, and it's not working for 3 main reasons. The first being complications with shipping from China. The second is the oversaturation of private label products on Amazon. And the third being the Amazon Basics brand. So this is what Amazon created and has a large variety of products to choose from. So overall, there's a lot of competition and a lot of logistics to figure out with selling on Amazon. And when people were doing private label, it created these big kind of complications with the process. This is why I recommend creating your own product. So let's dive into what that looks like and how easy it is to start that on Amazon. Creating your own product has a lot of benefits. One being that you don't need a lot of money to start it. You can even start with $0, and I'll go over how to actually do that in just a little bit. So the way I'm going to break down the information of creating your own product is by breaking it down in 5 steps. So the quick overview of what we'll cover is having an idea for a product, so that'll be the first. The second will be creating a launch group, and we'll go over why this is extremely important. The third is having a Kickstarter, so creating that campaign to crowdfund money. We'll go over that as well. The fourth is production and what that is like. And the 5th step is actually selling it on Amazon, so what's required to create that account. So first you want to come up with an idea. Coming up with an idea can be really overwhelming. You kind of have to start brainstorming some things that you like, what you hear people talk about, some interests, personal, or what you hear from other people. You want to create a list of all these brainstormed ideas to kind of try to think, how can I create a product out of that? I've worked with a company called Helium 10, and Helium 10 is a really cool company because you're able to use some tools to help you find a product. So you'll be able to go into Helium 10 and use a tool where you're looking at other competitors or perhaps what the space is like and what other people are doing. There's a lot of other tools out there as well, other websites that you can use to see what the space is like on Amazon as far as product, but I definitely recommend Helium 10. I've just been more comfortable using them. It's very easy to go around their site and use the different tools that they have. So if you're interested in at least just trying it out and see how you can use that for your benefit of finding an idea, I'll link it down below for you guys. Just check it out and see what works for you. But again, coming up with an idea can be really overwhelming. When I started my product Vino cards, I was thinking of things that I was doing at that time, and at that time I was traveling and doing different wine tastings, and I always felt that wine was a huge category. Like, I didn't know a lot about wine. I felt kind of unknowledgeable and not sure what to recommend people or what I even liked. And so this idea of having maybe flashcards to kind of study in a way, but in a more casual sense. You know, I didn't want it to feel like school. I wanted it to be a very interactive way to learn about wine with other people. And at wine tastings, you kind of just drink, and then at the end of the day, you forget everything you know. But with these cards, I'm able to learn about it at home while in a live setting where I'm actually tasting the wine, maybe one wine one night and another one another night, and even drink with other people. So it's a very interactive tool. people. So I took the idea of what was I doing at that time? And at that time, I was wine tasting, what I wanted to improve with wine tasting, and then how I can make that happen, not just for myself, but for other people, because it seemed like friends and family had similar experiences. So if you start brainstorming in that way, maybe start thinking of what you're doing currently, what you want to explore, and how you can create something that helps you and as well as other people. If you're doing something that actually benefits you, that you actually enjoy and love, and want to learn more about, then creating the product and the rest of this process will be a lot more enjoyable in the long run. The second step is creating a launch group. And this is where I see a lot of beginners make this mistake of not creating a launch group. When I refer to a launch group, I refer to a Facebook launch group. And this is what I did with Vino cards. So on Facebook, I invited all of my friends and family into a group that I was able to create through Facebook. And this is where I started to post updates about my product, where I was in the process, essentially taking people along the journey with me. The benefit from this is that you're taking people along the journey with you. So they're seeing each step and each effort that you're making to create a product that helps them out. So you want to kind of have them be involved. You want them to maybe provide feedback, or you can ask them questions and say like, hey, I'm thinking about this color or this color for the flashcards. Like, what do you think? And people would give me their thoughts. And that was very helpful for me as well, because I was able to see what people wanted. And I wasn't just creating a product that I think is best, but perhaps other people didn't find so appealing. So overall, I'm creating a product that everybody loves. And if you do this properly, by the time that you launch on Amazon, people are going to support you. They're going to want to go and buy your product to see what everybody has been working on together for the last few months or year or however long it takes. When people want to go support you, they can leave reviews on Amazon, and Amazon loves that. They want to see a product have major success, especially on the first day of launching a product. So all these people that have been along the journey with you will support you, leave reviews, and Amazon's going to love it, bump up your product, and you're just going to get a lot of sales. So overall, it's a very helpful tool to not only help you get reviews and stuff, but also to help you with the design and production of your product. The third step is creating a Kickstarter. And this is where I mentioned a little earlier that you can start your product with almost $0. And the way to do this is by creating a Kickstarter. A Kickstarter is basically a crowdfunding site. So you're going to post a product up there. It can be a concept for a product that you plan on producing. It can also be a product that you already have and you want to raise money or cover the cost of your product. It can really be at any stage of your business. And the way to do this is, say that you want to raise $5,000. $5,000 will be exactly what you need to cover the cost of shipping, the design of your product, getting the manufacturing done, all of that. And say $5,000 is my golden number. Now, there's really no limit. You can do 10,000, 20,000, 100,000. You can really do whatever you feel is reasonable to achieve based on your surroundings and who can support you. But say that it's $5,000. That's the number that you want. People will go and back up your product. So they'll put in a payment and say like, yes, this $30 product, I want it. And so they get their product when it's available. And again, this is what I did for Vino cards. So my goal was $5,000 and I had a month to do it, 30 days, and I was able to reach my goal. And that means that covered a lot of my costs for my production. And I wanted it to be an achievable number, because if you don't hit your goal, if I didn't hit the $5,000, I would not receive $5,000 or any of the money that was put in. So I wanted to make it achievable. But again, you can really see the hype of your product by Facebook launch group. You can get a gauge of like how many people are interested in this product and what's in a reasonable amount that I can make with my Kickstarter. So if you have no money to start with, you don't even have to have your product ready or you even start. Have a concept, an idea for a product, put it out there, and if you're able to raise money for it, you can essentially cover all of your costs. And so that's a great way to start. You don't need a lot of money to do it, and you're able to share with people and see what the interest is for your product. The fourth step I want to cover is the production of a product. This might feel like the hardest part of creating a product and starting a business, but it's really not as bad as it seems. You can use sites like Alibaba.com. They have a huge variety of products that you can choose from if you wanted to do a product that way, and you can work with those manufacturers that are listed on Alibaba to find one, to see who can support your idea and create a relationship with them. I would suggest not going with the first person that you find. Start getting different quotes and see what each manufacturer can do for you and what makes sense for your product. Or you can simply just Google. So if you're thinking about, any overseas area like Indonesia, China, somewhere in Europe, Canada, Mexico, you can simply just Google and see what's available for you. If you want it to be local, if you're in the US, you can find manufacturers through Google saying like, hey, I want a food, manufacturer of some sort that they can produce some sort of food item. You'll simply put that into Google and hopefully something comes up. But again, make sure that you're talking to different manufacturers. Start to get a quote and a general idea of how much something should cost. And then you can simply choose the one that's more affordable for you or, whatever can service what your idea is. I go more in depth on how to exactly do this and how I did it for my product Vino cards in a separate video. So I'll link that up above for you guys to check out. And the fifth step is to actually sell on Amazon. So by utilizing your Kickstarter supporters, by having your launch group set up and maybe collecting emails throughout your whole journey, you're able to let everybody know that you are launching on Amazon. I would work it up, let them know that, hey, in 2 weeks, I am launching my product on Amazon. Keep an eye out for it. A few days later, do it again. A week down, maybe a few days before the launch, and then of course on the day of. So get people hyped up and excited, remind them so that they know it's fresh in their mind and they know to go and support you. And of course, with Amazon, you're gonna have to create a seller account. Usually you're approved within 24 hours. So it's a very quick approval process. As long as you're not going against their terms and conditions of what products you can sell, you can simply Google and look that up to see what it is. But once you create your product, you're able to create the title, the description, add images of your product, everything that you need to get your listing ready. So you can look at different Amazon listings to get an idea of what to do. But that process is actually pretty simple. The biggest thing was all the other steps mentioned before this on how to get people hyped up and excited about your product before you even launch on Amazon. To be honest, Amazon changed my life. I was able to create something that I was excited about, very passionate about, and I've been able to quit my 9-to-5 job so that I could pursue this full time. I'm able to work remotely and I just love being able to share a product that a lot of people enjoy, that are excited about. I'm able to learn more about wine specifically with my product, but overall I've been able to create a lifestyle that's very freeing and enjoyable. But that being said, it didn't come with a lot of hardships, and as a beginner, I made a lot of mistakes. So I really break down what these mistakes were so that you can absolutely avoid it. I'll link the video here for you guys to check out what those mistakes are and what you can do to avoid it and save a lot of money. So click the video here and I will catch you in that one.